Hello everybody and welcome back to Lucky by Nature. Beastdaemon here, and it's finally here, guys. Sorry it took so long. Been a bit busy, as you all may know, but better late than never. So I'm going to show you how to solo tame the Mosa, which is ridiculously easy as long as the preparation is done. You will need the following materials: 2 behemoth doors, with gateways, of course, at least 30 stone pillars, 6 stone ceilings, 1 giant stone hatch frame, and 1 dino gateway. That is just for our trap. For the cave, I would take at least 1 large storage box and make sure you fill it with plenty of trank arrows, narcotics, at least 1 extra crossbow unless you are going to use primitive, then have at least 2, and most important, your kibble. If you are on a normal server, you might want to keep an extra set of scuba, or at least a tank, in your storage box, just in case you may need it. But if you are on primitive plus, or just regular primitive, make sure you carry some Lazarus chowder with you, which lasts 5 hours on your person. And it allows you to stay underwater 6.66 times longer than normal. So I also suggest you work on your oxygen. Another benefit that the Lazarus chowder has is that your stamina regens without having to leave the water or get on the mount. I always personally have 300% oxygen on my characters because I do spend a lot of time in the water, and plus oxygen also makes you swim faster, in case you were not aware. And for the most important part, guys, don't forget your Quet's kibble. I know I already mentioned it, but believe it or not, I've had some people that actually forgot their kibble. And when they got out of there to go back to, their base, by the time they got back, their tame was gone. So if I were you guys, I would definitely take extra precautions and take a couple of beds inside the cave, just in case you end up getting killed, because you never know. Something might sneak up on you. Also, make sure you have plenty of food with you, and you can put everything in your large storage box for safekeeping. All you need as far as dinos go is an HT, which are easy enough to tame. Alright, let's build this trap. First, figure out which door you will be using to bring the Mosa through. You want to use a path that is not obstructed, and in my case, it will be the right door. I used to build a square, but that gives them too much movement and I didn't like it, so now I only use 2 behemoths. Next, we want to block the top of the trap, because the Mosa will swim up once it's trapped. I go up about 8 to 10 pillars high depending on the terrain. If it's pretty flat, I only use 8. I place the pillars on the corner and also on the opposite of my first set of pillars. You may have to use 1 extra pillar and try to connect it to the set of pillars, so you can place the giant hatch frame, because it will only allow you to go 2 ceilings out and you may need an extra one. If you prefer to use more ceilings, then you will end up having to connect more pillars, obviously, on the ground. But that is personal preference, and it also depends on the terrain. Now I use the Dino Gateway to further restrict the Mosa's movements, and I will be able to go through it with the dolphin without an issue. I would rather be safe than sorry, so I will block the area right over the Dino Gateway, just in case it may be big enough for the Mosa to stick half its body through. Alright, so there's our trap. It's not pretty, but it should be effective, and that's what matters. Okay, before we go out looking for a Mosa, we need to check our inventory. I might as well put away the extra building materials. Alright, we are ready, so let's get on our dolphin and get us a Mosa. On a side note, we have gotten requests to do a walkthrough of our bases, show our mutated powerful dinos and such, but after talking to Vixen about it, we decided that's not something that we want to do because that's not what we are all about. You all really would get nothing out of it except for wasted time and basically watching YouTubers show off what they have. And instead, we would much rather show you how to get your own cool powerful dinos and show you how to build your own cool bases by doing building tutorials so you can get a better understanding of the building mechanics. We are all about sharing information in hopes that it benefits you as it has us. So with that said, let's find that Mosa, shall we? Alright guys, so I finally found a Mosa. As you can see, it's cruising its way over to me. So I'll just wait for it right here. Oh, got in there quick. Oh, that was a fail. But it's okay. You know, we'll just do it again. We just have to make sure we get right on the door. We just gotta be really quick about it. Okay, it's in. And it's closed. Alright. Not too bad. And see, I really like this cave just because of the fact that it has another entrance. But even if I did have to go through the main entrance, I mean, I could just cruise on by and I don't imagine the dolphin would die. But as you can see, it's just chilling in the trap. It doesn't really have much movement in there. So all it can do is basically turn, but it can't go anywhere, it can't hide. So we can just shoot it until it goes down. But for primitive folks, I'm going to take off my tank and take it down to simulate the conditions in your server. I would have definitely used Lazarus Chowder while looking for the Mosa, and obviously go to the surface when you need to catch your breath. Alright, so once you start shooting it, make sure you shoot it as fast as you can, because its torpor does go down rather quick, and it does have a ton of it, so it does take a bit to take down. On regular servers, you can technically tame one of these guys by yourself, because with the scuba gear, you can keep up with it, and you can just hover right above their range that they can go up, you know, towards the surface. But there is a high probability that you will end up killing it. There is always a good chance that they may take you towards sharks or eels or other stuff, and while you kill them, the Mosa's torpor goes down significantly. So when you end up catching up to it again, and their health is nowhere near a gigas, so you really can't afford to take that chance. Personally, I ended up killing 2 level 150s doing that, and thinking back on it, I should have built the trap just as I had done many times before, but I just got lazy, I guess. And the reason I got lazy is because I had tamed a 125 and a 100 using that method, but I got lucky and didn't get attacked by anything else, so mistakes were made with the 150. If you have a group, then it's no problem, but solo, you always need to make preparations, as we did earlier. So what I took away from that experience, guys, is that I will never get lazy again. Well, that's unless Vixen is there, then I might get a little lazy. But just don't tell her that. As you noticed, I almost ran out of oxygen, so I went up to catch my breath and then right back at it. So make sure you keep a really close eye on that oxygen, guys. And it's down. And I'm out of oxygen. Alright, so as you can see, the Mosa is extremely bloody. Let's take a look at its health. Wow, it's pretty low, isn't it? This is pretty typical though. I remember when I first tried to tame these guys, I would use the 5-second rule that you use on most dinos, and I would end up killing these guys every time. I was so pissed, but hey, you live, you learn. So now you go get your narcotics, put them in the Mosa's inventory, and keep an eye on it. I suggest you use the Dododex taming program built in it, and remember that every 100 narcotics gives 4,000 torpor, and don't let it get too low. You also should use the Dododex Starve program built in it, because starve taming these guys is the way to go. because things can go wrong down here and the kibble is way too expensive to lose. And even I made that mistake back in the day, and I was so pissed because that's back before the 1.5 times became a thing, and so it was pretty expensive to tame these guys. Alright guys, good luck with your Mosa taming, and until next time, keep surviving.
My work saved the human race.